Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
Conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the f*** up.
And new undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world, Michael the Count Bisping.
This is Believe You Me on the Gas Digital Network.
Okay, Sunday, not Friday, not Saturday. It is Sunday. Lewis is having his healthy dose of apple juice once again. Welcome to another episode of the Believe You Me podcast with myself and Luis J. Gomez.
Yes. Somebody put piss in my apple juice.
Fucking vodka, man.
Movie?
Well, what movie did I just quote? The Judge. And he takes a sip of the Judge's water and he goes, fucking vodka, man.
My son did that 3 nights ago.
Cheech and Chong. Come on, you've seen that.
No, I don't remember that movie. What movie am I quoting?
You don't remember Cheech and Chong? You're the biggest pothead in the world. You must know Cheech and Chong. I'm not a pothead, and I don't even like Cheech and Chong, but I remember that scene.
Is that how you see me? The biggest pothead in the world? You see what he does to me, everyone? Puts me in a bubble. I'm not the biggest pothead in the world. I smoke a little bit of weed. I have a little bit of anxiety. Maybe it's medicine. Maybe you should stop fucking... you should stop.
Zero judgment. In case you're going to say maybe I should stop judging you. No, zero judgment here. But let's call a spade, right? I'm wearing a purple t-shirt. You like to smoke weed. I'm drinking a cup of tea. You just was sucking on a glass dildo 2 minutes before the show started.
Whoa.
Okay, you're sucking on a glass dildo and drinking.
Don't tell everyone my pre-game ritual where I throat fuck a glass dildo before every show.
I have to stare at you giving a blowjob to a glass penis before we start this show. No wonder I'm so traumatized every time, Lewis.
How am I supposed to open my throat? I apologize, everyone. Sorry.
Anyway.
My movie was Little Monsters with Fred Savage.
Of the Wonder Years fame.
Yeah. And
never seen Little Monsters, although somebody did suggest that to me last week when we were talking movies, and I watched Goonies with Lucas. Somebody suggested Little Monsters. Never seen that one, but we're not going to talk coronavirus, so we're going to try and make an effort not to mention the coronavirus this entire episode. The only time we can mention it is if we say, because of the coronavirus, but we're not going to get into details and specifics of what's been going on. What have you been doing with yourself, Lewis, given the current situation that cannot be mentioned?
I have been just enjoying your Twitter timeline. Usually, Michael Bisping gets to sit back and relax and enjoy my Twitter timeline as I have meltdowns and argue with people on Twitter. Oh, yesterday, I got to sit back and watch Michael Bisping just fucking lose it.
No, not losing it at all. Right, number one, I am a prisoner. Okay, I am a prisoner. We are all prisoners right now because of the issue that cannot be mentioned, that cannot be named. But on top of that, my plight
shall not be named.
I had surgery, so I'm stuck on the couch. I can't do much right now. I'm recovering. I'm a fallen soldier. I'm recovering, but what I can do, I can look at my phone, I can look at Twitter, and I can get annoyed at Twitter because the amount of dumb fucks. The amount of dumb fuckery that is on Twitter is unbelievable. And given the situation that shall not be mentioned, there's a lot of stupidity out there, okay? And I'm sorry. I cannot sit by and watch this stupidity continue without at least taking some of them to task.
I'm just saying that maybe, and you've given me this advice. There's been at least 3 or 4 times where he's called me. And it's like, all bullshit aside, he's like, hey, dude, I'm your friend. I don't care. He says it in a way, he's like, I like watching you argue with people on Twitter. It's enjoyable. But
it is.
He's like, you're going down a rabbit hole where it's not going to end up anywhere good. And it's good to have that friend every once in a while to say that and have that perspective. And it's just the shoe's on the other foot now because I'm literally watching. I'm like, Bisping, where's this going to go? You're arguing with these people. It's not going to end up anywhere good. Who cares? Let people have their dumb beliefs. By the way, the people you're talking about are like me and fucking Perillo.
Yeah. No, exactly. That's why I'm so mad, because I know these people. I care about these people. First of all, I sound like a great friend, right? You know, that's the side of me that people don't see. I'm going out of my way. I'm calling you not to discuss the podcast, just to give you some fatherly advice. And secondly, yeah, you're right. It is the dumb fucks like you and Perillo that I am talking about. The ones that I see because I know them, and I'm like, what are they talking about? I just don't want innocent people to die.
Nobody does.
Yeah, but people are dying, okay? We shall not talk about this. We cannot talk about this. But it's funny, you know, because yesterday, because I did call some people dumb cunts on Twitter, and I get a message from this guy here. I'm reading the messages from the phone. I really wish you would come call me a cunt to my face, pal. Hell, I'd even go out of my way to come and meet up for that interaction. You ain't bad, bro. You ain't shit. And I just thought, wow, what a fucking loser. You're acting tough over Instagram. And then he goes, same as you, buddy old pal, calling men cunts for being upset they are losing everything. Damn, I'd love to snag you up and drag you about. Wow. And I thought, ha, ha, ha. Ooh,
this guy's a badass, by the way.
Oh, and he's going on and on and on. I said, and then I messaged him. I said, do you realize how pathetic you are now? Thanks for the laughs, moron. Please continue with your little threats. And then he continues on, right? And he's telling me about, there's a lot of messages here. They go on for a while, so I won't read them all. But he continues on, right, how he's such a badass and all the rest of it. And then he's actually telling me, I was the U.S. high school national champion decathlete. I'll leave it there. It's not really worth bringing up old shit. And then I go, what do I say?
Bisping.
I'm being super sarcastic.
Buddy. You can only do one sport.
Listen.
You can do 10.
Listen. But I'm being super sarcastic with the guy. I said, oh, how was the last decathlon that you entered? How did you get on? Where did you place? I really want to know more about that, right? And this guy does not get sarcasm because he comes back and says, yeah, thanks. It was the relays, but I hurt my back. No lie. I was an Olympic hopeful and turned out to be an injured mutt. Oh, well, but I've grown and I've healed since then. And then I felt sorry for him because I thought this guy's dumb as fuck. So I just said, all right, listen, good luck with everything. You got me wrong. I would never call anyone that had to apply for an employment a cunt, but you shouldn't be threatening people over Instagram. Good luck with everything. And he's carried on messaging me like we're best buds now. It's like, no, you're a fucking idiot.
Can I say something? Can I play devil's advocate?
Please.
You're too famous for any of this. What are you doing?
Bro. I recovered from surgery. I had a torn meniscus due to degenerative arthritis, right? I can't walk again. I'm on crutches. I had surgery on Thursday. I'm in a bad way. I'm also on a lot of pain medication. Yeah, I can't walk. I can't leave the house, okay? But I can hold a phone and I can go head to head with motherfuckers. The dumb fuckery needs to be taken on. And I'm taking you down. I'm taking Perillo down. I'm taking this motherfucker down. I'm taking you all down.
I read the one thing. The one tweet was like crazy. I don't even remember what it was, but it was just like, it's stupid motherfuckers that believe this. Go fuck yourselves. You're a piece of shit. And I'm like, it's me and Perillo. We're his two friends that feel this way. Two people that are very close to you.
I will say you do embody the traits that I am discussing. Yes. You are part of the issue. I like Lewis too. He's okay on occasion. So I had surgery again. That's a pain in the ass. So I'm recovering from that. Funnily enough, Callum has to have surgery on Wednesday as well. The exact same problem. Torn meniscus as well. So that's a bit of a shame. That's our house right now. But obviously there's an issue that shall not be named. What are you doing to fill your time? I'll tell you what we've started doing, Lewis. We've started dusting off the old board games. Yeah, we had a game of Monopoly yesterday. I don't know when the last time you played Monopoly was. For me, it was probably about 20 years ago. I had to, read the rules again and things like that. And much like I remember in the Bisping household, it ended with a massive argument and Lucas in tears and the board getting thrown up in the air. I don't know why Monopoly is classed as like a good, decent family time because it always ends in tears.
Look, I always loved Monopoly. I grew up on Monopoly, and I play Monopoly like Junior, my son has, and it's very limited rules, but it's a good introduction because I remember being my son's age and just being like, this is a little bit over my head. Like, how the rules were sort of robust. There's a lot going on there. I mean, just the idea of even understanding what a mortgage is when you're fucking 6, it's kind of crazy, and, but it is sort of the way we played it in my house. It was more about the rules that didn't exist. And we make up our own rules, and it was about negotiation. It was about backstabbing, stealing. It was like, if you can get away with stealing, you got away with stealing. That wasn't like breaking the rules. If you got caught, you got caught.
Listen, Lewis, I'm just saying, you come on here time and time again. You're a great father. You've got James learning the piano. You've got him doing jiu-jitsu. You've got him doing arts and crafts, okay? This is what you're presenting to the world on Instagram. But what you're telling us is that in reality, you're teaching James to be a thief, a liar, a cheat, a con man. Are these the life lessons that you're injecting into your child?
I don't inject anything into any children. So you need to fucking chill, bro. Okay? There are listeners out there right now. we have
Edit that bit out.
No, what I'm teaching my son is, and you've read the 48 Laws of Power at this point. Hopefully you finished it. It's a game, baby. You're either being played or you're playing it, right? So, yeah, he's got to learn. If you're the banker, you're probably going to steal some money out of the bank. If you're the banker and you don't steal money out of the bank in Monopoly, you're a fucking loser.
Well, hold on.
You're not going to win in life. That person will not win in life.
We had 2 games on 2 consecutive nights. I was the banker on both nights, and I never stole a single dime. In fact, I was very proud of myself for that, because when I was a kid, of course, you're always stealing as a kid, but this time, none of that. But I'll tell you what we did. Me and Callum, obviously Callum now, he's 18 years old. He's got his own opinions. You know what I mean? He's my size. He's probably a better wrestler. He's definitely stronger than me right now.
Probably.
Okay. This motherfucker, he's got his own opinions. I don't know what's going on in this house, but we need to have a serious conversation. But towards the end, we looked at the time, and it was almost 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, right, okay, we got to wrap this game up. We got to get to bed. And I said, right, okay, let's just everyone count up all the money that they have, and then all the property that we have. Look on the board on Monopoly, and however much we bought that for, that's what that's worth. Combine your property and your cash, and whoever's got the most is the winner. Callum was like, no, that's not what you do. You do the cash only.
Callum.
He said, you do the cash only. I'm like, no, you don't do the cash only. We bought these investments. Therefore, those investments are worth something. Or entire portfolio. Whoever has the more expensive portfolio is the winner, not cash. So anyway, this went on for some time. We had a big blazing round. And the next day, I apologize. That is this account. That was a little silly. That got a bit out of hand. But then he doubled down on his point. And it started all over again. A friendly argument. You know what I mean? Banter,
He's
just a couple of slaps.
Not for nothing. I love Callum. He's a great kid, but he's wrong. Number one, if you look in the rules of Monopoly, when you do end the game, you actually do cash in all your property, your mortgages, everything. So that does hold value. Second of all, his perspective, look, the idea is this game is sort of like symbolic for life, right? You're sort of like playing. I think the game of Monopoly is actually a great little, like, if you could win at the game of Monopoly and consistently win at it, there's something. There's something about that. You could win in life. Stop it. No more bong hits, okay?
Monopoly is not a metaphor for life. If you win at Monopoly, if you cheat the bank, if you are the banker and you steal and you hide cards and you get the electric company and you're hiking rent and you're sneaking hotels onto the board and shit like that, that doesn't mean you'll be a winner at life, Lewis. I'm sorry.
You don't think Donald Trump snuck some hotels onto the board, baby boy?
Oh.
That's the way you get ahead, So cool. Beat Mr. Goody Two-Shoes, Michael Bisping, and have your child yelling at you in your own goddamn house that you paid for everything. You paid for that Monopoly board, yet your own child is telling you the way it is. Not me. Not my house. I make up the rules, baby boy.
Yeah, that is a point. But I'll tell you what, we won't spend too much time boring people with Monopoly. But as I said, that's what's been going on in our house. But Callum is as I say, he is he has a lot of opinions and he's putting them out there. Mixed martial arts, so the UFC's Paige Van Zant. She's got 2.4 million followers, and Callum is one of those followers. I walk into his room this morning to say good morning, and he's like, Callum, he's like, Dad, Paige Van Zant and her boyfriend, Austin Vanderford. They're at it again. I don't know if you follow them on Instagram. They're always posting pictures of them naked, but just with like a strategic cup of coffee covering up the penis or whatever it is. You know what I mean? And today she had her hand over his Franken beans, to use your term, Lewis. And Callum comments underneath, blink twice if you need help, which I thought was pretty fucking funny. It's had like 300 likes or something like that. Bless him. He's a funny little bastard.
Twice if you need help. That's so funny. Why do they do that?
I don't know. Look at their page. That's all they're doing. Listen, people are going crazy. They're on quarantine. They're trying to be entertained. Paige, obviously, she knows her strengths. You know what I mean? All women A lot of women on Instagram, they get a lot of likes, they get a lot of comments, they get a lot of sleazy comments, and she's playing up that side of things. Hey, fair play, using her strengths.
Yeah, but nobody wants to see her holding her boyfriend's junk.
Yeah. No.
Like, that's like, it's almost like, yeah, she needs to fucking, look, I hate to say it, but guys are creeps, It's like that's not why they're there. They're actually, that's not true. To actually have her watching her hold, his junk,
that's halfway to porn.
Yeah, the more I say it, I'm like, that's actually kind of hot. Never mind. Go back to that picture. Stop the stream. Let's
show some of the other pictures, Mike. Brian, if you can. But she's going hard on Instagram. I mean, listen, fair play. She's going out of her mind. Her and her boyfriend. They're young. They're having fun, Lewis. They're just, they're having fun. They're trying to ease the boredom. They have no children. Good for them, I say. They're having fun.
Yeah, I mean. There's all the pictures. More power to them. They're all naked. All right, we get it. You guys are into each other. I've been guilty of this before. I've had girlfriends and where you just start to like all that, like every other shot is you and them. It's like, guys, we get it. We get it. You love each other.
Yeah. Well, she's.
That's the other problem. There's a lot of cringy, like quarantine content right now where people are just like, they're just so bored and they're putting it out. You're like, guys, put the camera down.
I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it. See, this is the thing. Everybody's a personal trainer now. Everybody's at home showing the shittest workout ever. The shittest workout known to man. Okay, here's 5 push-ups and here's 5 mountain climbers. And then we're going to do 3 sit-ups. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go 3 times around with that. And there you go. So you guys stay at home, get healthy through this quarantine. Yeehaw! Listen. That is not going to work. It isn't going to do shit. Okay, I get it. It's positive. It's better than doing nothing. You have to keep the body moving. But if you're in a rural area, take the dog for a walk around the block. You know what I mean? But don't start pretending to be a personal trainer on Instagram. By the way, keep an eye out for my weekly fitness series, which will be launching next week, called The Count Gets You in Shape.
Yeah, there's a price. Michael Bisping will sit here and talk all this shit, but all it takes is any one of our many sponsors to come and be like, Bisping, what's how much money to do a fitness tape? There's the number.
It's happening. It's happening. It's on its way.
No, it's not.
That's why I'm disparaging all the competition right now. I'm cornering the market. Nah, I'm joking, but I have had requests for that, and I am going to do something, but the point I'm making is it is just a little bit much because that's what everybody's doing right now. But to be honest, fair play, because people are bored and they're trying to inject positivity. They're trying to send a positive message, right? So that's better than being a negative asshole and sending a negative message.
What's going to happen eventually, and this is just the truth, right? And at what point, and we both want the same thing. We both agree. We want people to live and everyone to thrive and be happy, right? But let's say this just continues. Let's say it doesn't get better, and it just continues, and we continue and continue. At one point, we run out of the last movie that we have already filmed.
Well, it's okay.
There's no new movies.
This morning, they were airing the cheerleading championships from a local high school on TV. We're good.
Easy.
Take your mind out the gutter. The point of what I'm saying is they're showing shit. Yesterday, I was on the couch and I called Callum down. I'm like, Callum, there's some the national championships for wrestling on. And he came downstairs. He's like, Dad, this is from 2010. So of course, they are struggling for content.
But eventually, well, hold on. There'll be a time, like, let's say this just continued in the hypothetical world, hypothetically speaking, Michael Bisping.
Okay.
They run out of movies. So now they can't film new movies. Content's gone, right? No live sports. MMA is essentially gone. You've killed MMA. What you grew up on, what you built a career off of, what you love, you have this emotional connection to is gone. Stand-up comedy, what I love, completely gone, right? There's no more getting crowds together. There's never a crowd over 10 people. All sports are gone. Six Flags, Disney World, going to the movie theater, seeing theater plays.
Stop trying to paint it as an imaginary scenario. When I know what you're doing, you're putting forward your agenda. That's
No
what you're
agenda.
doing.
I have no agenda.
Like, this is where the government's trying to take us, bro. Just cast your mind if you can to this imaginary scenario.
That's not what I'm saying.
Okay,
I don't think so.
On,
I don't think that there's any upside for the government in that. I think the government wants people to make money. I think those are multiple different things happening at all times. Regardless,
whatever.
I'm just saying, at what point do you say, like, okay, well, we got to move on? Like, is there not a number? Like, I would give up, and I'm thinking about people that I know.
What are you? Hold on. What are you talking about? Remember, we said we wasn't talking about the coronavirus.
We're not. I'm talking about this hypothetical world.
Well, clarify what you're talking about, because I'm starting to get a little panicky over here that you're backtracking the entire ethos.
I'm talking about the thing we're not supposed to talk about. Fine. Okay.
You are.
I am.
Clearly going down that avenue.
I'm going down. So I don't know everyone in the world, but I'm thinking about people that I know to give up stand-up comedy. I mean, I would give up 3 out of 10 people that I know. 30% of the people that I know. I'm like, I don't really, think about those. Think about all the people you know. You don't really like more than 30% of them. So you really got to consider the fact the numbers are nowhere near that devastating. Am I making sense?
I don't know what quarantine is doing to you, Lewis. Okay? Listen, I get it. Right? I get it. You're not even that keen on James, right? You're a part-time dad.
I don't know. He's in my 7 out of 10.
No, barely. He was at 6.5. He made it. He made the cut just, Listen, you're a negative asshole, all right? You're like, you know what? Maybe this isn't so bad after all. Let's just cull a massive percentage of the earth, of the earthlings. Let's get rid of the earthlings, a big percentage, and we'll just crack on as normal. No, we're trying to save people, Lewis. We're trying to save them. And this content is supposed to be non-coronavirus related.
Whoa, what did you just say?
I'm going to move it on. I'm going to make the executive decision, the executive power to make this podcast move forward. Okay. Much like Tyrone Woodley is giving executive power to his management to make UFC 249 happen. Because as we see, yesterday, I think we're still yet to see the results of this. But yesterday, Donald Trump had a phone call with all the sports leaders. Did you see that, Lewis? Did you step away from the conspiracies enough to see that, to actually what is happening?
Was it really Donald Trump, though? That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
Come on, man. You believe that was Donald Trump?
Anyone could put a fucking wig on, man. Listen, anyone can talk like this. Totally crazy.
Your Trump impression rules.
Okay. Huge. I got to do a Trump. I'll give me a week. I'll come back with a good Trump impression.
Good. I want to hear it.
No, what was I going to say? Yeah. So Trump apparently by all, we weren't on the call, to be fair. I had a call with the head of the NBA, the NFL, UFC, WWE, all the rest of it. And they discussed when they're going to get back on track with sporting events. I don't know what the outcome of that call was. Harrington, do you happen to know anything about that, or Brian, or anybody? Do we have any information?
So the only thing I'm seeing is that Trump says he wants people back in arenas, want fans back in arenas. I think it's whenever we're ready, as soon as we can, obviously. And the fans want back too. They want to see basketball, baseball, hockey. They want to see their sports, go out to golf courses, breathe nice, fresh, clean air. So there's no real date or anything like that, just that the American people want back to sports.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Hey, great input, great insight, Harrington. He comes in, makes it sound official and says, no. What I do know, okay, my sources inside in Washington tell me, is that the public would like it when sports start again. So good one, Harrington. Yeah, that is correct. UFC 249, by all accounts, according to Dana White, is still plodding on. Harrington, what do we know about the status of that before we get into the front runners? Because apparently Khabib now can leave Russia. So there's a potential that Khabib is still on.
Well, Khabib said he still wants to do it. He's waiting on a date from Dana White, last I heard. But it seems almost, it almost seems, am I wrong about this? Does it not seem like a pissing contest? Because now Khabib wants to make it look like, no, I'm ready. And the UFC is like, no, he didn't want to do it. So
no, Khabib's waiting for the location, said location. And I was going to tweet the other day. I was going to respond with that and put, Khabib, you're obsessed with locations because that's all he talks about now. Locations. But to be fair, it is a solid point. Dana's going to give the location. But what do we know about that, Harrington? 249. What do we know?
So Khabib went on to Brett Okamoto's Instagram Live and tried to clarify things. He said he didn't back out. He's not out of the contest. He still is, like you said, waiting on a location from Dana. He says that there would be a way for him to get out of Russia and make it. He said he can go anywhere in the world. He just needs that location from Dana White. Dana, however, told Kevin Iole that he was pretty sure Khabib was off the card, and he was pretty certain for a while now that Khabib wasn't going to fight. So like Lewis said, it's a game of he said, she said.
It is a game of he said, she said, and it's also a game of circular of trust. Nothing to do with the UFC, but I'm hearing rumblings. I'm hearing things. I'm hearing little things. I'm hearing things like there might be a fight happening that certain people are calling for, that maybe someone called for, that the other one didn't call for. Maybe the guy comes from Ireland. Maybe he doesn't, but I'm not saying anything. I'm just hearing things. Circle of trust. Can't say anything. I want to say something.
Say something.
I can't say anything, okay? A guy that I know. All right, no, I can. I can say this because it's not from an official source. It really isn't. A guy that I know from Ireland says that he thinks Conor's going to be fighting pretty soon.
Fighting who?
That's all I know. I don't know.
Fighting who?
I heard, it was a bad line. It was a bad line, but I heard something along the lines of Flustin Meiji or something like that. I don't know.
Really?
I'm not breaking news because it was a friend of a friend. A friend of a friend said, "Oh no, I know somebody," and he said, "Apparently that's happening." I'm like, "Okay." So I rolled my eyes, but you never know. You never know. So there you go. The fight I want to see is Tony versus bloody Khabib. I hope that goes ahead. Of course.
Well, I think that didn't Khabib say if they didn't make it work for 249 that he wanted to make it work for August, which is something we floated on the last show with Chill, which is like, dude, just fucking delay the fight. What are you doing? Like, both these guys want to fight each other. I just don't understand. And if your circle of trusts, things come to fruition, and hypothetically speaking, an Irish guy might fight another guy that has great wrestling, but decides to stand up and bang, and really just a really exciting
this
fighter.
Irish guy's an alcoholic, by the way. Okay,
yeah, with the fighter or the friend.
No, the fighter.
No, we know. I've read
the source. Yeah. No. I have a lot of family in Ireland, okay? And one of them's a profound drinker. He's very, very good, but he tells me he's got a friend of a friend that heard some shit, that knows some people, that kills some people, okay? There you go. Circle of trust, doggies.
Are you giving us news from the town drunk?
That's where I get all my information from. Everything I say on this podcast comes from the Killalay town drunk in Northern Ireland.
All right, Mike, let's take a quick second and talk about sheath underwear. My new favorite underwear. I don't wear anything but sheath underwear anymore. I've never felt more. This is the way that they would have a woman design an ad. They're like, I've never felt more confident. I really haven't. I wear sheath underwear. I'm like, this is the way that underwear is supposed to look on my body. If you don't know, they have incredible styles, incredible designs, really comfortable material, but it's specially designed where it holds your junk in place. It holds your what are they called? The Frank and the Beans in their own compartments in place. It really is just, it just looks great. I don't know what to say. Anytime I'm hanging out with a chick and she sees me in my underwear, she's like, oh, those are great underwear. Every single time without fail.
Okay, you didn't need to get that in there that, women are obsessing over you. Okay.
They love my Franken Beans.
It's the underwear, Lewis, because they are very, very stylish designs. These guys at Sheath Underwear, they're smart cookies. In fact, they're very generous cookies also, because do you know what? Obviously, we've done business with Sheath for a while. They contacted me yesterday. We have 6 N95 masks that we can send you. Would you like them for your family? So they're sending me 6 masks so that my family doesn't get the coronavirus. Lewis, you're going to say something.
Well, they're sending them to your family, and you're going to send me some as well?
No, there's 6 of us. With Megan, that's a family of 6. So they got us all covered.
Megan's not your fucking family. I'm more your family than Megan. Megan is not your family.
Listen, when we're discussing underwear and pouches for your junk and your Franken Beans, don't bring up Megan's name, okay? Simple as that. No, listen, Sheath Underwear, they were started by a soldier that was serving in Afghanistan, if I'm not mistaken. And obviously he had first-hand trouble of his balls getting a little bit sweaty. So that's how he designed, the prototype design that they have. And yeah, if you check them out, they've got all kinds of styles. They are extremely, extremely comfortable, as Lewis said. And bottom line is this. Sheath creates amazing underwear, and if you don't love them, they have a 100% money-back guarantee of your first pair. So listen, if you love the show, we appreciate that. Tell your friends. But support our sponsors, please, and give Sheath Underwear a try. I guarantee.
These guys are all bullshit aside, dude. They're real fans of this show.
Yeah.
They hit us up all the time. They listen to the content. They love the content. If you go onto their social media, it's not even just our show. They support great podcasters. You know what I'm saying? You'll see other podcasters that have nothing to do with this show that they also support, and they also work with them as well. So the reality is, if you're going to pick and choose who you're going to support in this time, support a company that was started by a vet, support a company that actually has a great product, and support a company that's truly supporting great podcasters right now in this time where, honestly, we need the support. We really do. This is how we make our money.
No, absolutely. But we're not trying to feel sorry for ourselves, Lewis. There's people in a worse position. But you're right. They do support us. They support the MMA world as well. They sponsor a number of fighters, pardon me. Donald Cerrone being one of them. So, yeah, so check them out. And as I say, most importantly, if you don't like them, they'll give you a 100% money back guarantee. All right, I get it. It's a bit of a pain in the ass doing the returns, but still, take a plunge. Have a try. You will love these underwear. You won't be disappointed. And if you want to try them, go to sheathunderwear.com, SHEATH, underwear.com, and use the code BELIEVE20. You'll get 20% off. As I say, you'll love them. They're great. They support our show. Please support them if you can. Go to sheathunderwear.com and use code BELIEVE20. All right. What were we talking about? But anyway, no, what I was trying to talk about before was Paige Van Zant. Obviously, we were trying to go on a tangent and just like, what's the word I'm looking for? Segue to topics. So we did the board games, then we segued to Callum, then we segued to Paige Van Zant. Then from there,
Paige Van Tangent.
And then we segue to her wanting to fight out her contract in test of free agency. And then from there, segue to mixed martial arts. That's where we were going to go with that, Lewis.
Okay, I get it. I mean, look, for her to test free agency, it makes sense. I don't have a record right in front of me. It's
not a big story. It's not a big story, but there you go. It's in the notes. Hamilton put it in there, and I thought, I've got a seamless segue for us here.
Yeah. I mean, look, Paige is, sounds bad. I mean, whatever. Was she going to beat me up?
Yeah.
Her fame outweighs her ability.
Yeah, probably. No, granted, I agree. Well, I wouldn't say I agree, but I understand your point. No, I see what you're saying there, but you can't blame her for that. You know, I mean, she was on Dancing with the
that's
Stars.
not hating on her at all. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, she's very famous, and she's not a champion. She's like championship level fame. And I don't know.
Good for her.
Yeah, great for her. But because of that, there's probably value in testing the free agency. I mean, she's like somebody who can go and act and go to WWE, and she has this like star quality, and she's really hot, and she's truly a badass. I mean, she's legitimately a martial artist. So there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know in MMA I just don't even, isn't it weird to sort of make a plan? Like, this is a weird time to be a free agent, not to bring it back to, the virus that shall not be named.
Whoa.
But isn't it a weird time to be a free agent? Because you're like, oh, I'm going to go test free agency when who the fuck knows when MMA is coming back, when there's going to be a live event.
There's no agency to test. There is no free market. You can't even buy fucking toilet paper right now. Hey, I don't know where this imaginary market is that you're testing in your fucking head. Okay,
let me test the market that doesn't exist.
I'm going to test the market. I'm going to dip my toe in. Oh, look at that. Oh, they were biting at it like a bunch of hungry piranhas. No,
I tested the market. Turns out it's really cold and hungry. I will take whatever the UFC will give me, and please do not fire me.
So I called my agent and said, listen, I want you to give Bellator a call. Yeah, Bellator have shut down. Okay, Cage Warriors. Can you call Cage Warriors? Yes, in the UK, and they're not actually having any events right now. Oh, what about Pride? No, they what are you talking about, Paige? They went in 2004. Okay, oh, shit, you can go on like this all day. There is no one. There's nothing. There's not even NBA. There's no NFL. There is no market, zero market to test. And that leads me on to...
Actually, I'm saying, more than when I think about it, Paige, keep on doing these videos with your boyfriend. There's nothing. If society doesn't come back, that might be the route right there. I'd pay to watch Paige and her boyfriend hook up on their Instagram all day long.
Get an OnlyFans? Fuck yeah.
Well, I think they are doing that. I think there is actually, she put something on Instagram. There's a number that you can text. I don't know what that goes to, but there's a, Brian Harrington, somebody help me out here. I saw something.
No.
Harrington mentioned it. She's putting out a number that you can text and you can have a personal one-on-one relationship with her. I don't mean sexual relationship. Sorry. I meant, verbal dialogue.
So she teased it, lying on her bed, showing off quite a bit of cleavage, that she was now giving out her number through this service where you'd be able to text her for like a certain amount of money per conversation. And she teased in there, you can text her about whatever you wanted. Open to the imagination there. But she said that she's trying to build a community through this texting app.
Yeah. Well, listen, I feel that you all need to take your minds out of the gutter. What she's trying to do there is build a community and build a network of people that are going to embrace one another and hold each other up throughout society through these tough times, these dark times, these challenging times, these times where you realize that monetary gains are not what's important. It's all about just connecting the soul and the spirit. But of course, you've got to take it down that dark avenue where it's all about sex and bondage and sadomasochism and whipping and things like that. Oh God, no, Harrington, no. Church, Christianity, religion, Jesus. That's empowerment right now.
All right, Harrington.
I think Michael Bisping said it best.
Yes. And I'll tell you what else I'm going to say best. Harrington, I'm looking at the notes here. And again, you always do a stellar job. But here's what we're going to do. All right. Number one is UFC 249. Okay, we've got that. Then it goes to another card that's in the flux is UFC San Diego. You're potentially saying that UFC San Diego is going to be cancelled. Well, of course, it's supposed to be next month. Then you go down, UFC 251 is fucked. Okay, here's the writing on the wall. All events are fucked, Harrington. We can't break them all down one by one like it's breaking news. That UFC 251 in Perth is it's hanging in the balance. Will it go ahead? Won't it go ahead? No events are happening. There is no market for Paige Van Zant to test, and there is no events for us to discuss. Can we just say that?
That's 100% fair. The 251 I thought was interesting though because it involves an injury, and not only is it an injury to Valentina Shevchenko, which pulled her out of the event. Alexander Volkanovski came out and said he was concerned with training time, which is something we haven't heard from any fighters really, is that he wasn't able to get training partners, wasn't able to get to the gym, and he doesn't want to take a title fight coming off a broken hand with a short camp. So I thought that was like a new and interesting wrinkle that maybe you could speak to.
Well, I can speak to that. I'm just waiting to see has Lewis frozen? Has he disappeared? Did the glass dildo bong hit just like go a little bit too far? Lewis, are you there? I know he's messing with us.
I am messing with you.
I know.
That was good though, right?
No, it wasn't. I saw you blink. I saw you fucking blink, but I'm like, can you speak? What is going on? It's great for wasting time. It's not the best podcasting in the world.
Hey, the only thing I know is podcasting.
Okay.
The only thing I know.
Well, here's a little hint from a little rookie in the podcasting world. Don't pretend that you've all frozen up.
That was great. It was a great moment in the Believe You Me podcast. It'll go down in the history.
No, but just go back to your point, Harrington. Yeah, that is interesting about Volkanovski, but I see his point. Listen, if he just became world champion, he's going to rematch Max Holloway. That was the fight. And that's not an easy fight to win again. Max is, just a phenomenal fighter. He's going to be even more motivated for the rematch. But I guess everybody would be in the same, if hypothetically this fight was to continue in Perth, let's just say hypothetically, I guess everybody would have similar challenges in finding training partners, coaches, things like that, right? So I guess it would be an even playing field.
Yeah, it's just not a good time to be trying to expand on your fucking dreams in any industry, anything, dude. I mean, like my fucking son is doing piano lessons on Zoom. He's doing, like jujitsu lessons. It's just you're not getting the same type of thing. So it's like you're sort of putting everything on pause, and we just have to hope that things will turn around faster than it seems. At a place like New York is a fucking dude. You know what I looked at a map yesterday.
and it was like they had like red dots for like where it was like, where there's been infections, and then it had like a little circle if it was like 100 infections, and then it had a bigger circle if it was 1,000 infections, and they had like the entire map of it was pretty cool to like kind of see. And then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna fucking move to Wisconsin, right in the middle of it. It's like there's nothing there. You see in certain areas. The East Coast is if you can find this map, Brian, pull it up. The East Coast, it's a fucking nightmare. It looks like a Freddy Krueger film. It's just all red. It looks like it's just pouring blood, whereas the West Coast is nowhere near as bad.
It's okay. I got 2 things to comment. Number one, it's the virus that shall not be mentioned or discussed on this show, which you are flaunting yet again. Secondly, I mean, again, see your points of you and Jason Perillo. There's nothing to worry about, Lewis. There is nothing to be concerned about. That's what you've said all along. So don't keep banging on about it.
Well, all right, fine. If you want me to be honest, that's the problem is they create that graphic and you go like, oh my God, you look at this fucking, it's bleeding red. It's everywhere. And I'm doing it. I'm guilty of it. But then reality.
They use the color red as well, just to like invoke panic and blood.
They really fucking do. They put out that stat the other day. They're like, well, the amount of cases in the U.S. is now, or deaths in the U.S. is now surpassed 9/11. This horrible tragedy, 9/11. And you're like, oh my God, that sounds so horrible. And they just sort of villainize it in this way. And they sort of create this narrative where you're like, wow, bigger than 9/11. And you're like,
but that is bad. But that is bad.
Okay, car accidents are bigger than 9/11 every year. If you want to use that metric.
Car accidents can't be removed or eradicated by social distancing. They are part of human society and people
but they can be.
And guess what? With 9/11, when there was, I think, 3,000 and something people, tragic souls that were very, very brutally taken away, what did they do? Increased passport control and security. They didn't just go, oh, well, fuck it, it's only 3,000 people.
They didn't ban airlines or skyscrapers. They didn't ban airlines or skyscrapers.
They made fucking getting onto one a hell of a lot fucking harder, Lewis.
Well, maybe we should consider. I won't go down this path, Michael Bisping. I will not go down this path.
You're talking out of your ass.
I'm your friend. I don't want to argue with you.
I don't want your friendship. There it is.
Look.
Oh, look at that.
Look at the East Coast, dude. It sucks.
Yeah. Bunch of fucking morons. Look at look at this. Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina.
Stop it.
Y'all, Betty. What the fuck is going on? And then over here in liberal town, we're doing okay. We're like, yeah, you know what? This is
Look at Nevada. Bad. Look at Nevada. Nothing.
Yeah, nobody lives there. Nobody lives there. That's Las Vegas, where they've got one little bit there, I'd say. Oregon hasn't got much.
Alaska, not much. Montana, the whole eastern seaboard of Montana is just fucking clear as day.
It looks to me like the place to be is California.
The East Coast looks like my penis once every 4 months.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's a visual I want to eradicate from my mind.
All right, Mike, let's take a quick second and thank Naked Nutrition, NKD Nutrition. What an incredible company. I love their protein. I love their supplements. They have so many different things. Right now, this is the time. If there's ever a time to get back in shape, it's when you have a ton of downtime. There's plenty of time to do push-ups, crunches, all this other stuff. But beyond just working out, you need to have great nutrition as well.
Absolutely. I was just going to say, Lewis, whilst the world is going crazy with home workout videos, which, depending on where you sit, could get annoying. I'm not saying that every celebrity out there or every Instagram influencer is now turning into a personal trainer. I'm not saying that that's annoying. I'm saying it could be perceived as annoying. But here's the thing. The main thing that you got to realize is that you will never out-exercise a bad diet. And that's a fact, right? If you're doing all the workouts in the world, but your diet is shit, guess what? You're still going to look like shit because you are what you eat. That is what they say. That's why I love Naked Nutrition. Naked Nutrition, they do a variety of supplements across the board, but the main thing that they do is the protein, the grass-fed whey protein. There is no artificial sweeteners, no GMO, no growth hormone, no soy, no gluten, no artificial crap whatsoever. When you look at the ingredient list, it's very, very small. There's like 4 ingredients, no bullshit, no chemicals. All the products are third-party tested and perfect for fueling workouts and muscle growth. So yes, be at home, train, work out, Instagram, inspire, be annoying. But while you're doing that, do it with the correct nutrition. And as I say, that's why I love Naked Nutrition, Lewis.
I've done a lot of those protein drinks, dude. And I'm embarrassed to say this. When we started working with Naked Nutrition, I started noticing what's in the other protein drinks that I'm drinking. The ones that you buy at the store, 40 grams of protein, you pound it real quick, $5.50. Everyone knows what we're talking about. It's all garbage. It's all chemicals. It's all things that you're not supposed to put into your body. Recently, my son asked me, because it's a chocolate shake, right? I'm drinking these things, and not the Naked Nutrition ones, the store-bought ones. I'm drinking it, and my son goes, "Oh, can I have a sip?" And I'm like, "No." And I had a weird little moment where I was like, well, what am I doing? Like, I won't allow my son to put this into his body because I know it's not good. Yet I'm downing this after a workout where I'm trying to fuel my body. I'm doing the best thing in the world. It's so psychotic to do that, especially when there's things like Naked Nutrition out there.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if I'm going to get sued for this, but I'm just going to say this. Muscle milk, prime example. You get muscle milk, and it'll say on it, contains no milk, okay? There's no milk in muscle milk. I'm just throwing that out there.
What is it?
It's a lie. There's no muscles. There's no milks. Our pets' heads are falling off. But if you look at Naked Nutrition, there is 4 ingredients. All the way comes from grass-fed cows on small farms in California. So listen, give this a try. I love the brand. It's absolutely fantastic. Take a look. nkdnutrition.com. If you use the code Bisping, you'll get 15% off. So yeah, there you go. You can't out-exercise a bad diet, and the diet doesn't want to be so bad that it's actually going to kill you at the same time. It's going to give you cancer in the long run. Maybe you lose a few calories, an inch of your waistline, but you also get cancer. I don't know which one you want. So achieve both. Get slimmer, stay fit, live long. Go to Naked Nutrition, nkdnutrition.com, and the code is Bisping, 15% off. And yeah, you're welcome. All right, where were we? Listen, I keep trying to get back on point, on topic. Right? Fuck me. We said we're not going to talk about coronavirus.
What? I didn't even say the word.
UFC 249. That is the one event that I think, listen, because as I was just busting Harrington's balls there, the UFC Perth, the San Diego, Oklahoma, Nebraska, there's a bunch of events that I was booked to work for. So by the way, everybody, I'm losing a fucking shitload of money because I'm not working either. But they're all cancelled. But I think the one saving grace, the one thing that UFC are definitely working hard on is UFC 249. And there's a bunch of people throwing their names in there. Of course, Tyron Woodley was out there. Gilbert Burns, who came on the show a couple of weeks ago, thank you to Gilbert. He has been going hard on Tyron Woodley, like posting his rap videos, his freestyle videos and things like that. And it even got to the point now where Tyron Woodley has blocked Gilbert Burns. He blocked him. And I got to say, Gilbert wins. You can't listen. If it's just I block people every day, but they're insignificant nobodies that talk a little bit of shit. I said, whatever. I don't need that negativity. Block. But when it's somebody in your weight division that's talking shit, he would. You can't do that, bro.
That's pretty great. Have you ever blocked a fighter?
I don't think so. No, I don't know. Maybe. I've definitely not followed some. Because they're not interesting, but I've never blocked one. Have
you followed somebody then unfollowed them because you're just sick of their shit?
Oh my God, constantly. Yeah, I follow.
Can you name anybody? Can you name one person? I know you don't want to talk shit, but for the sake of
podcasting,
for the sake of podcasting, the sake of it, it's harmless. Is there anybody that you followed and unfollowed that I just can't anymore?
Yeah, there's fucking plenty. There's a lot of people that are insufferable. I just can't deal with their shit. But then there's also there's some that are former UFC guys that I don't need to follow them anymore. I'm not that interested. Maybe some of them with jiu-jitsu people, so I give them a follow. Obviously, I'm interested in jiu-jitsu, but their accounts are just boring, and I don't want to know about their day-to-day lives. You know what I'm saying? So fair enough, I'll tap out and I'll unfollow. But in terms of MMA guys and UFC guys, because the thing is, I have to follow a lot of fighters for commentary because I want to know about their personal lives as well. You know, when you're talking about their commentary, their fight skills, their records, if you can talk about what they do outside of the octagon, a bit of their personality as well, you can give the viewer, the listener, an extra little bit of insight, extra little bit of detail. But it can get a little bit annoying at times. You do sometimes go, boom, unfollow because fuck that shit.
How about this? We'll do the Believe You Me top rules to not do on your social media during quarantine or even beyond that?
For those audio listeners, you see me shake in frustration. I am trying to get to the front runners for UFC 249, and you keep going off, right? I mentioned Tyron Woodley and Gilbert Burns, and you go, oh, Mike, have you unfollowed anybody? I mentioned fucking Jose Aldo. Well, I haven't done that yet, but I'm going to. All these people, when you're just like, let's go off on a tangent. Let's not discuss MMA, which is great. But that's for the first segment of the show, Lewis. We're in the deep. We're in the thick of it.
We're deep, sir. We're in the thick.
We're surrounded by commission members. We got doctors waving medical forms all over us. We want to know where the location is. We need to know the main event. Harrington, please come in here. Save the show. Save the show.
Oh, my God.
Who is your front runner for UFC 249 main event? Please go ahead.
That's so tough. I think that my number one front runner has to be Tony Ferguson versus Justin Gaethje. I mean, that's like Chael said. If there's a question at 155, Justin Gaethje seems to be the answer. If Gaethje's willing to take a short notice fight, which he's been really opposed to for his entire career, that's an exciting fight. It's a headlining fight. It's a fight that'll definitely sell pay-per-views. And I want to see a belt back on Tony Ferguson. So put the interim title on the line and let's get this thing done.
That's fantastic. But why, if that's the case, then what's this about Henry Cejudo? Point number 3 in the notes, Harrington.
Well, that's another guy who offered, but he needs to find a willing dance partner at that point. So the guy who he's supposed to be fighting at UFC 250, Jose Aldo, he called him out to headline UFC 249. And if Aldo can't make it, he says that he'd be more than happy to fight Dominic Cruz, who, again, I don't think has fought since 2016. So that would be a very, very difficult one to see him taking on 2 weeks' notice. But Cruz did respond on Twitter that he was ready to take it. So I don't know if that's posturing or what the deal is.
It probably is posturing, and I'm also seeing a little bit of ramping up between Dominic Cruz and Piotr Yan. I don't know if you've seen them two. They're trading a few barbs on social media, so that'd be interesting. That'd be a tough fight for Dominic Cruz because it is 2016 when he lost against Cody Garbrandt. But Tyron Woodley versus Gilbert Burns. What do you got to say on that, Lewis or Harrington?
I think that fight should happen. My problem right now with just the UFC in general is like you have a lot of fights that were just canceled. You don't need to make some sort of crazy fight. Don't waste, the Irish superstar Conor McGregor. Don't waste Khabib versus Tony right now if you can't make that happen. You have fights. You have Ngannou and Rosenstrike. They were supposed to fight. Put that fight on right now. People are dying for live sports. You could put on any fight in the fucking world right now. You could throw on a fight night and people would love it. They would fucking praise the ground the UFC walks on. I think that you don't need any of these fights to save UFC 249. The only thing that saves UFC 249, the only thing is Tony versus Khabib. If you can't make that fight happen, then there's other fights that you could just put on that people would love. If you put on Rosenstrike versus Ngannou, that's a fucking incredible fight. That fight right there, it was supposed to happen. These guys are both in shape. They're both ready to go. Give us that fight and just push Tony versus Khabib off to later in the summer. Push Conor versus Gaethje off to later on in the summer. Justin Magee. But and then you have these massive fights and you set up huge fights for later on. We are on pause right now. You can say what you want to say. I don't think that society is willing to collapse. I think people will just eventually start going, all right, we got to get back to fucking business as normal. So I think it's just a pause. And I think the smarter thing to do would be use the fights that we were supposed to see already.
Yeah, well, the fights we were supposed to see already, they're booked, they're trained for, and all the rest of it. It's just, it is what it is. I mean, there's no events. We don't know what was said on that phone call between Trump and the sports leaders yesterday, even though, the medical counsel that Trump is getting still saying it needs to be a while. So even though Dana's saying, so what did he say? Because you said something interesting before, Harrington. So Khabib said to Brett Okamoto, no, I'm fine. I can leave the country. I'm just waiting on the location from Dana. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So by all, and what did Dana say? You said that Dana said, no, we've moved on from that fight?
Dana, when Kevin Iole was asking him if Khabib was out, Dana said, yeah, I think we've all pretty much assumed Khabib was out.
Interesting. Why would they move on? Why would they give up from Tony versus Khabib? Big fight. who could possibly be bigger than Tony versus Khabib? Dustin Meiji?
Well, I wouldn't say Dustin Mangy.
I don't know. It's just interesting the way Harrington's putting it together there. You got Brett Okamoto saying Khabib says he's good, and then Dana saying, no. We've moved on from that. I don't know. That's just the way that Harrington is presenting it. I haven't seen the video. I haven't seen the clips. I haven't seen anything.
You can't really take anything what Dana or Khabib are saying right now. I mean, they're both positioning themselves. Somebody is flat out lying. One of the two is flat out straight up lying, and that's fine. Dana White is a promoter. It's his job to get interest, to kick up dust, to get people talking. So you always have to take it with a grain of salt. I don't really know. I have no idea. But if Khabib is saying he's willing to fight, if Khabib is saying he is willing to fight, and Tony is willing to fight Khabib, Dana is willing to make that fight happen. I'm telling you right now, that's what the fans want. That's the number 1A plan. So if Khabib is being truthful, that fight could still be on. It's not crazy.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I'm messing around with the Conor stuff. Of course I am. I'm just like teasing everybody. That fight has got, the appetite for that fight is just absolutely ridiculous. That's what everybody wants to see. And if Khabib's saying he's still in, if Khabib's saying that Putin is going to let him leave, then my God. And what a great thing that is, eh? Fucking Khabib. Yeah, okay, for most people, they can't leave the country. But for me, I'm boys with Vladimir Putin. So don't worry about that. I can leave. I mean, come on. That's some nice power to have.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably the most famous person from Russia. Like, who else do they have?
I don't know about that. There's got to be. I don't know.
Name a famous Russian person. Any.
Mikhail Gorbachev. He's the ruler from the 80s.
Yeah, he's fucking.
He's dead, probably. Okay. Ivan Drago.
That's true. That is a big one.
Vladimir Klitschko. Ukraine.
Yeah, it's not even Russia.
Fedor Emelianenko. Or bring up a list. Let's have a list.
And Khabib is way more famous than Fedor at this point.
Keep talking a minute while I just Google this.
Yeah, I mean,
most famous Russian.
Oksana Bayul. No, she was Ukraine as well. I mean, there's nobody. They got nothing. No offense. Look, I'm not hating on Russia. I know our Russian fan base right now is going, Vrushka, Brushka, Brushka.
Bra. All right.
We don't fucking know. We don't know who these people are.
All right. So here is... this was compiled in 2018, by the way, so it's a little out of date. But the most famous people in the whole of Russia. So number 1, Vladimir Putin. Okay, he's number 1 supremo. He's most famous guy. So that's interesting. Number 2, Mikhail Gorbachev. What did I say? What did I say? Come on.
Why?
Still with it. Still got it. Still got the finger on the pulse, you motherfuckers. Okay. I mean, I'll just be honest. That's a bad sign. If Mikhail Gorbachev is still the second most famous person in Russia, this is not good. This is not good. Number 3 is Alexander Ovechkin.
I've never even heard of this person. They
call him the Great Eight, and he's arguably the most famous hockey player in the world.
Oh.
Of course. The Great Eight.
When things go back to normal, if they just keep hockey canceled, I'd be okay with it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I don't miss that. But number 4, we're forgetting about everybody's favorite, Lev Tolstoy. Lev
Tolstoy of the Tolstoys.
No, come on. Tolstoy is a poet or something, isn't he? He wrote about human feelings and purpose in such elaborate detail like no other writer before him. Tolstoy was larger than life. Tolstoy is arguably the most prominent writer in the history of Russian literature.
Oh, I do read a lot of Russian literature. That is true.
I had dinner with somebody recently that shall remain nameless, and he said to me, hey, Mike, so do you read much German literature? And I said to him, I don't read much fucking English literature. Shut the fuck up. Are you trying to impress with that fucking line of questioning? Number 5, Tchaikovsky. Tchaikovsky, bro.
Oh, Tchaikovsky.
6, this is where it's getting hard, Maya Plisetskaya. Yeah.
God bless you.
Oh, everyone's favorite astronaut, Yuri Gagarin.
Oh, Gagarin from Game of Thrones.
No.
Yeah.
That's who is that from Game of Thrones? It sounds like somebody. Who is that? All right. Okay. The point, Roman Abramovich, he owns Chelsea Football Club. Number 9, Alexander Solskjaer.
There's no fucking famous people from Russia. That's the point. So
in at number 10, they've got Joseph Stalin, who's definitely dead and wasn't around for a long time. Okay, so you're right. Khabib is by far, based on that list, maybe not the most important, but the most current and famous person from Russia walking the earth right now.
Fucking Khabib. Fucking Khabib.
Did it. Smashed it out of the park.
He should be able to just fly wherever he wants. It's fine.
It's a great episode of the podcast, everyone. We're all over the place on this one because guess what? It's not our fault. There's a virus that we can't talk about, and there's MMA events that we can't talk about. Lewis is sucking glass dildos before the show, right? I'm trying to keep it together here, Lewis. Come on, give me something to work with, please.
This has been a great episode so far. We still got a little bit of time, but this has been a really fun episode. I think the fans are going to be into it. Look, these quarantine episodes are going to get a little crazy sometimes. If there's no MMA news to talk about, and it's not even that there's no MMA news, there's no news. So it's not even like we can go on to CNN and just be like, oh, let's see what's going on in the world. It's all just like death and despair.
Virus.
Click here to watch a live count of people that are dying. You're like, what? Why would anybody do that?
Okay, all right. Change the topic. Favorite board game as a child? If you could play a board game right now, what would it be? Not Monopoly, by the way. Hungry Hippos. That was a good one.
Call me fat. I get it, dude. It's nice. It's a nice world you live in to be a fucking professional athlete. I haven't had the chance to really eat as healthy as I wanted to. It's a little difficult to exercise.
Mousetrap.
What did I enjoy as a child? I enjoyed life as a child, the game of life.
I'm an expert in the game of life. I actually graduated from the University of Life with honors, Lewis.
I liked there was some funny ones, right? Like Boulder Dash.
Guess Who? Come on, that's a classic. Guess Who is the shit?
Guess Who was just racist.
It kind of was racist. It was.
Was it black?
Does he have dreadlocks?
Does he like fried chicken?
Oh God, that's so funny. I'm gonna let Lewis say these ones. Is he white? Yeah. Is he white? Yeah. Does he have glasses and he's a nerd? Yes. Oh, that is a racist game. It is racist. Oh my God, I'm sweating all of a sudden.
I liked. I mean, Battleship. I liked as a kid. The Game of Life. I like the ones that made you laugh. Boulder Dash made me laugh. Apples to Apples was really good as a kid.
One we like to play on Christmas Eve. This is our little tradition on Christmas Eve. We have a dinner, we have a food, whatever, and then we play. What's it called? Headbands. You play headbands?
What's headbands?
You put a little plastic band around your thing. You pick a card out the thing. You stick it on there so you can't see what it is. And then people give you clues and you've got to guess what you are, whether you're a computer or a car or a person or an object, right? And that's a good game. It's a good family game. You should play with James.
Bisping. They made an app, okay? You don't need to play headbands on Christmas anymore. This fucking sounds very poor.
No, but that's the charm. That's the appeal. You don't want to do everything with your app. Put the phone down. Disconnect from the matrix for just a second, Lewis. Yeah, it's called a phone. There's lots of phones, lots of games.
That's called Heads Up.
There's lots of games on the phone, okay? There's lots of platform games, 3D games, virtual reality. But you got to bring it back to the bare basics and just, enjoy. Anyway, no more bong hits for Lewis before we start. Jesus Christ, what are you showing me now? 3, 2, 1. You're back in the room. This is terrible podcasting.
No, it's not. It's great podcasting. Trust me on this.
Listen.
You got to act like that now.
It's a penguin.
No, you can't say it. You have to fucking either give me clues.
Well, you haven't told me that we're fucking doing it.
Well, we're not really going to do it, but I was showing you that there's a game that you can get on your phone that your kid would probably love called Heads Up. It's a very famous game.
Sounds like a ripoff. Sounds like a poor man's version of headbands.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway, all right, this is going nowhere very, very fast. I'm sweating my bollocks off. Do we have any fan questions, any fan interaction, something that we can discuss that maybe has a little bit of direction to it? A little bit of
contest that we said if people submitted fan content, they could win a free pair of Sanabul gloves.
And pads.
And pads. And I think we actually had a few submissions. Am I right, Harrington? What the fuck was that?
Whoa. Listen.
Is Harrington stealing a car? What happened just now?
Harrington, Brian, wait for the cue. That sounds like the beginning of one of the videos, but when we're just saying, is there any, don't play it. But Brian Harrington's, anybody there?
I'll do plugs real quick while Brian's doing that.
Okay,
real quick,
good.
guys, take a second. You love the show. Go to our iTunes. Leave us a 5-star ranking, positive review. We love the great reviews. We love the positive comments on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. Really, anywhere you download podcasts, you can get the latest 30 episodes on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, Stitcher. Go subscribe, do all that good stuff. Tell some friends about the show. And if you guys want, every episode of the show we've ever done is available on demand at gasdigitalnetwork.com. The entire on-demand library, pre-release, uncensored episodes, ad-free episodes. Use the promo code BYM30 and get a 30-day free trial. We're giving away 30 days for free right now as people are kind of at home and have nothing to do and nothing but time. So use that promo code BYM30. Get a 30-day free trial at gasdigitalnetwork.com. All right, if you guys want to join the conversation as well, you can shoot us an email, bympod@gmail.com. We always take fan questions, video questions. We love video questions, so send them once again, bympod@gmail.com. And also go to the website, BelieveYouMePod.com if you guys want to get everything. Everything is all in one place right at BelieveYouMePod.com. All right, Brian, we got a couple Sanabul winners.
All right, so we got this submission from Morales Damon on TikTok.
This is Michael Bisping DJing on Instagram Live during the quarantine.
Well, first of all, there's a very mocking tone to this. He's sanitizing his hands. He's making light of a very perilous situation. Now he's in a makeshift nightclub that looks straight out of the Scarface days. I mean, what kind of idiot wears sunglasses indoors? Now what is he saying?
Bisping, pause it for a second. Brian, this guy looks like if me and Bisping had a baby.
It's so funny.
It literally is. It's me with your facial hair and hair. That's what this guy is.
Lewis, you could have said, oh, you know what? He bears some resemblance to both of us. Why would you have to inject me and you having sex and reproducing?
I'm not injecting anything.
You know, listen, stop trying to inject me. Okay, you could have just said, "Wow, he bears a little bit of resemblance to each of us." You didn't have to say, "Oh, you know what? If me and Bisping had a love child together, that is what it."
So how do you know I didn't want to get pregnant? How do you know I didn't want to experience the miracle of life and carry this young fucking?
No, I do know that. That's why I'm scared of. That's why I'm like, stop saying it. Okay, I'm taking Lewis, but let's listen to what our Damon Morales friend is saying.
That was my submission for the content challenge for the gloves and the mitts. Hope that was pretty creative enough. This was my first time ever using TikTok. That took me about an hour to make. So I hope I got a little bit of extra effort points for that. Michael, I got a question for you. What was your craziest DJing set that you've ever had? Just a crazy experience that you had that night. And also, Lewis, does a straw only have one hole or two holes? Let me know.
So he said, what's your craziest DJing set? You actually told the story, I think, on Legion of Skanks, which they quoted us, or they quoted you recently on some website today. I saw about the guy that you found in the trunk.
Yeah, So this club I used to DJ at, Monroe's, was kind of a crazy place. And the one you're talking about, when I had my record stolen. But I'll give you another one. So Monroe's was one of the original rave clubs, if you will. You know, it was an all-nighter place, and people used to go there from all over the country. There'd be massive roadblocks, people trying to get there. And anyway, so it had a really, really good reputation for the music. Towards the end, it was just like a gangster's paradise because it was an all-night club. And then at 2:00, when the regular clubs closed, all the doormen and stuff would go there to party. You know what I mean? So it was kind of a wild scene and like some very, very dangerous individuals. I've seen somebody open the fire exits and a guy go in with a samurai sword and hack somebody up there. I've seen a lot of lot of bad shit, but it was also a great club, don't get me wrong, but just over the years, there were some very, very bad things. But I remember one night, the final ever time, I played the last ever record at Monroe's. I'm on the decks. And I'm DJing. It was kind of early. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning, which for that club is early. And it's just starting to fill up, And I'm there. And there used to always be these wannabe MCs, and they're always coming in and getting on the microphone and trying to like fucking rap and shit like that. So I'd lock the doors, the DJ booth door, so no fucker could get in. I'm like, fuck those fucking MCs. And anyway, I'm there, and then I hear banging on the door loud. I'm like, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden the door just flies off its fucking hinges, and cops run in, and they've got helmets and they've got shields. Obviously this isn't America. They've got truncheons, they've got little clubs, and they're in there like, don't fucking move. I'm like, whoa, I'm not moving in. Music fucking comes off, the music stops, and then all the lights come on in the club. And if you Google it, you can find it. There's like 300 police, or maybe 200. A lot of police stormed this club and went in there and shut it down. A lot of arrests were made. The owner of the club spent some time in prison. And as they were holding everybody there in the nightclub, and the lights are on, and everyone's got their hands in the air, you know what I mean? They were wanting to search everybody for drugs and weapons and just whatever. I started sweet talking the cop in the DJ booth, right? You know what I mean? Because I'm just there, I'm working, and I'm chatting away. And the guy's like, "You seem okay?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, man." I was like, "I'm just here doing my job. I'm a DJ. I've got another set somewhere else tonight." I'm like, "But yeah, you're right. This place is crazy." And I'm like, building up a rapport with the cop. You know what I mean? I'm like, "Oh yeah, no, I've got 2 kids at home. I've got 2 kids at home. This is just my job. It's just one of many places I'll DJ." And he's like, "You know what? This guy's all right. He can leave." Right? I'm like, "Oh, thank you. So I pack up my records." And then I had to walk out through the dance floor, and everyone's got their hands in the air, and they're all looking at me. They're like, "The fuck is this rap mother? Why is he getting to leave?" Do you know what I mean? Because obviously I didn't have my top off, with my eyes popping out my head, fucking gurning my face off on ecstasy. Do you know what I mean? I had my shit together.
Not that night.
Yeah. I wasn't sweating profusely, and I was still clothed. I wasn't semi-naked, so they let me go. But that was one of many, many, many crazy experiences while DJing. So there you go. There's an answer.
Well, there you go. And whatever his name is, you just won a free pair of Sanabul gloves and a pair of pads. And that's it. That's how little you have to put into your content, guys, in order to win this contest.
Lewis, there's a question for there.
What was the question? I didn't hear what he said.
Does a straw have 1 hole or 2?
What straw?
It's a bizarre question if ever I heard one. Does a straw have 1 hole? Oh, because I guess there's an opening on either end, Lewis.
1.
Explain.
Because it's 1 piece of plastic with a hole in it.
But what if you tipped it upside down?
Technically, you could look at any. If I took a ring, it's sort of the same thing.
We're just in the spirit of podcasting, Lewis. This is what we're trying to do. We're trying to inject some random entertainment.
Stop using the word inject so much today. It's making me uncomfortable.
Okay, we're just trying to penetrate the audience. Okay? We're just trying to penetrate them and just give them something good that they can take.
Look, Bisping, thank you so much for doing the show today. I know you're in a lot of pain, and we tried to do it earlier in the week, but honestly, guys, the fact that we are doing a second episode this week is a testament to how much this guy's committed to doing the show, because I know it was a fucking pain in the ass to fucking
talking about. I'm having a great time. I'll stay here for another 2 hours, Lewis.
You told me you hate the show. You the audience.
When Lewis goes, Brian, let's continue. Because I feel an obligation to penetrate the listeners that we have, the subscribers. We got to inject some personality, because Lewis was completely devoid of any today. Lewis, okay, we'll wrap this one up right here. Okay? You look like your profile picture there. You look like your Twitter profile there. We'll let you go, right? We'll call this one a day. Tuesday, we will be back, everybody, with a great show with a lot of. We'll get some guests on as well. So we can hear from some other people what they've got to say, how they're treating this, and hopefully by then some more things to talk about. In the meantime, be safe, look after yourself, and stay the fuck inside, please. Lewis, over to you.
All right, everyone, enjoy your time at home. Try to make the best of it. Turn a negative into a positive. Learn a new thing. Learn a new skill set. Do something different. Do something with your family. Inspire your kids. Inspire your neighbors. Don't inspire your neighbors. By the way, I was such an idiot. You see it posted on my Instagram Live. at 7 o'clock, apparently every night, they do this all over the world apparently, but at 7 o'clock they change over the I guess the hospital workers. So in New York, people just like open their windows and just cheer out the windows and clap, and it's actually pretty touching. It's nice.
It's very nice. It's very nice.
I didn't know. The other night I'm just in my apartment, I hear cheering, and I open my window. I'm like, what the fuck is going on in here? So I posted a video. I'm like, I have no idea why people are cheering, but it's fun. And I'm like, yeah, baby. I'm just like a fucking idiot loser.
Edit that bit out, please, Brian. Right? He's mocking the support that the healthcare work.
I loved it. Now I'm proud. I kept it up because I was proud of the fact that I cheered them.
Well, good for you. Good for you. It's great positivity to end on. Well done. In the meantime, we will be back on Tuesday. In the meantime, take care. In the meantime. Can we stop recording?
Nope.